Hey there, amazing viewers. If you're loving the content and want to take things to the next level, why not consider joining the channel? As a member, you'll unlock some seriously awesome perks. We're talking exclusive badges, emojis to flex in the comments, sneak peeks of upcoming videos, and even special shoutouts during the show. Plus, you'll be directly supporting the channel so I can keep bringing you the best content possible. Just hit that join button below and take your seat among the legends. And hey, if you're not ready to join, no worries. Your likes, comments, and shares still mean the world to me. Thanks for being here, and let's keep this party going. Now let's get into today's topic. South Africa is walking a dangerous tightrope, folks. The rhetoric from certain political figures calling for revolution and chaos isn't just hot air, it's a ticking time bomb. Julius Malema and his cronies at the EFF seem to think they're leading some righteous crusade, but all they're really doing is stirring up hatred and division. And while they preach about economic freedom, what they're really pushing is the destruction of what's left of South Africa's stability. And while they preach about economic freedom, what they're really pushing is the destruction of what's left of South Africa's stability. But the danger doesn't just come from the usual suspects like Malema and his red beret-wearing fanatics. Even the so-called leaders of the ANC are playing a reckless game of incitement. President Cyril Ramaphosa himself recently called on the ANC Youth League to return to their roots as militants, openly admitting that there will come a time when the ANC cannot grow. Think about that. The president of the country is basically admitting that the ANC's days are numbered, and the only way they can stay relevant is through militant aggression. Ramaphosa's words are not just a casual remark, they're a desperate admission of failure, a pathetic attempt to rally the younger generation to prepare for political war instead of building a stable, prosperous future. And why? Because deep down, the ANC knows that their incompetence, corruption, and greed have hollowed out the country to the point where their only weapon left is fear and manipulation. But let's not kid ourselves, Malema is no better. His populist rhetoric might sound appealing to the disenfranchised masses, but all he's doing is weaponizing poverty and anger to further his own agenda. Whether it's calling for the nationalization of everything under the sun or spewing his infamous kill the Boer rhetoric, the guy clearly thrives on chaos. And what do we get from the ANC leadership in response to all of this? Silence. Deafening, shameful silence. Because confronting the EFF's calls for violence would require actual leadership, something the ANC lost years ago. And what do we get from the ANC leadership in response to all of this? Silence. Deafening, shameful silence. Because confronting the EFF's calls for violence would require actual leadership, something the ANC lost years ago. Instead, we have mobs chanting about killing farmers, radicals demanding the destruction of private property, and political figures who seem more interested in tearing the country down than building it up. This dangerous rhetoric isn't just political theater, it's a recipe for disaster. South Africa has been down this road before. We all remember the 2021 riots, how easily it all spiraled out of control, how the looting and violence tore through communities like wildfire. Yet here we are again, with the EFF eagerly pouring gasoline on the flames while the ANC stands there with a match, ready to light it if it suits their political ambitions. And when you have people in power subtly encouraging militant behavior, it's only a matter of time before things explode. Encouraging violence doesn't build a nation, it tears it apart. And if the ANC and the EFF continue their reckless rhetoric, they'll soon find themselves standing on top of the ashes of what was once a great nation. What's truly tragic about all of this is that ordinary South Africans are caught in the middle. Hardworking people trying to build lives for themselves, while their so-called leaders treat the country like their own personal playground for power games. But guess what? When the dust settles, it's the common man who ends up suffering. What's truly tragic about all of this is that ordinary South Africans are caught in the middle. Hardworking people trying to build lives for themselves, while their so-called leaders treat the country like their own personal playground for power games. But guess what? When the dust settles, it's the common man who ends up suffering. But let's ask the real questions here. Why isn't the international community paying attention to this insanity? Is it because they're too focused on their own political agendas to care? Or are they just waiting for the inevitable collapse so they can swoop in and save the country on their own terms? One thing's for sure, South Africa is heading for disaster if these reckless power grabs continue. And until the people of South Africa start holding these so-called leaders accountable, the chaos will only grow. So, what do you think? Is this just more political theater, or are we witnessing the start of something much more dangerous? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you next time.